Hey there, it's me, your girl Rachel from RachelUpProctor.com, and I want to kick this thing off by first congratulating you on investing in yourself. That's right, investing in yourself by taking the time to listen to my webinar on how to create a meaningful, memorable, and monetizable business brand. Now, you're in the right place if you're a culture consultant or even aspiring culture consultant who has too many business ideas and you don't know which one to start with, or maybe you're struggling with determining your central message and you can never seem to generate engaging content for your audience, or maybe you're somebody who is like I used to be, who struggles with promoting and selling your products or services. Or maybe you're looking for the right systems to help you stay organized and focused and reduce overwhelm in your business. Or you may also be here because you feel like you've plateaued out with where you are now and you simply don't know what steps to take to get to the next level. Now, even if you're just starting out or you have no sales, or maybe you've started your business but you're not getting consistent sales, this webinar is for you. Now, if you've been in business a while or been in business for a good minute, and fortunately you are getting consistent sales, but you don't know what steps to take in order to scale your services and take your business to the next level, guess what? This webinar can help you too. Now, you may have all heard, or you may be thinking to yourself, well, Rachel, I don't really want to coach or consult, with people like that. Maybe you want to be a speaker, or you want to start a blog, or create an online course, or just become a trusted voice in a particular niche. Well, guess what? I got something for you too. That's what makes what I teach unique, because it's all about helping you find your message and present it to the world in a way that uses your gifts, showcases your personality, and most of all, makes sense for what your end game is, no matter if that's becoming a coach who creates digital information products, a motivational speaker, or a blogger. It's all about helping you create a brand that's meaningful, memorable, and monetizable. Now, here's a disclaimer. If I can just keep it 100 real quick, the information I share here in this webinar is not ideal for people who have multi-level marketing businesses, or MLM, or businesses that are primarily product-based like boutiques and novelty shops. Also, this teaching will not share any information on how to fund your business through loans, or, otherwise info on how to start a brick and mortar business. Now that that's out of the way, it's time to buckle your seatbelt because it is about to get real. Now, my goal for you today is to share a solution that specifically addresses where you are in business, and one that alleviates some of your deepest struggles you may be experiencing in reaching your business goals. And I want to be upfront before we dive in, because the ultimate goal of this webinar is to share all of the details of my exclusive Emerge Online Mastermind program with you and give you the information you need to decide if the program is right for you. Now, chances are that's why you landed on this webinar anyway. I'll also provide you with the investment levels that we have, which both are super affordable, as well as the bonuses that I'm offering for a limited time. And I wanted to create a solution that was super affordable because I want to remove any excuse fear may be feeding you that would stop you from getting the guidance you need to build your business brand. I don't believe that you would even be watching this if you didn't believe deep down that there was something more out there for you to do. And I also believe that there's something that has piqued your interest as to how I can help you get there. Maybe you've seen my content on Instagram or taken one of my courses before in Emerge University. But whatever reason you have been drawn here, I want to share some resources and tell you more about the Emerge Online Mastermind, because I'm confident, I'm going to repeat that again, I'm confident that it can guide you onto the path you need to be on your way to building a business brand, no matter if that's coaching, blogging, content creation, speaking, or just motivating your ideal audience. Now, I'm a teacher at my core, so before we get into that part of the presentation that talks about my mastermind, as promised, I want to share a few of my proven strategies with you to showcase a bit of what you'd get by joining the mastermind. So here's what you'll gain by watching this webinar today. You'll learn how to uncover your target audience's secret language. Now, I'm using my finger quotes there because they'll think you're reading their minds, and how to use that language in your copy and your sales calls to create irresistible demand and desire for what you, my friend, have to offer. Even if you struggle to, identify and connect with the right audience in the past. You'll also discover how to use this little known trick to mine your past for gold, even if your past was painful, and quickly develop a monetizable system to get your audience the results they need and position you as the go-to authority they've been waiting for. You'll also find out why social media is actually killing your online reach and what you can do today to change that before it's too late. You'll also learn how to put together a simple automated system that will boost your confidence and your efficiency when it comes to selling and promoting your business, and one that will turn curious followers into lifetime customers. You'll also find out why content is still the king when it comes to building your brand and attracting a loyal following. Plus, you'll get my secret writing hack to help you craft captivating content for your audience. And you'll also discover the exact formula you can use to organize your business projects, your content creation, and daily workflow, even if you feel completely stressed out, overwhelmed, and you have no idea what to do next, and more. Now, if you stay until the end, of course, I'll give you all the details on my and exclusive is exclusive because it's only for a limited time, Emerge Online Mastermind, and I'll provide you with the step-by-step on how you can join. And not only that, but when you stay until the end, I'll tell you how you can snag some amazing bonuses, as well as you'll be able to get 1 month free access to the mastermind, and you'll find out how you can get a free ticket to next year's virtual business summit, while I have some of the top social media influencers, entrepreneurs, and faith-based teachers sharing their business and their wisdom and expertise with you, and more. Now, who am I? Well, first, I'm a virtual business mentor. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an app creator. If you don't know, it's the Emerge Online Devotional app. You should go download it. It's free 99 in the App Store or the Google Play Store. I'm also a minister, and I am the self-proclaimed Chief Encouragement Officer of Instagram. Now, a little bit about my business background and why I feel qualified to share what I'm going to share with you today. Now, I come from an entrepreneurial family, as well as I'm a PK, or preacher's kid, if you're not familiar with that term. So my dad was a businessman and a pastor, and he started several businesses while I was growing up. I can remember being 13 years old, standing in the corner of my dad's office, watching him and learning how to make payroll. It was those moments that lit my fire for business. And really, entrepreneurship is all I know. I can think, maybe with the exception of a hostess job I had in the 10th grade and a short stint in the 11th grade as a waitress at a barbecue restaurant up the street from our house, I've never actually worked in corporate America a day in my life. I've always either worked with my family in business or for myself. So when I started my blog, RachelLProctor.com, back in 2011, here's some screenshots of that very first blog. I approached it with the mindset that, hey, it's going to be a piece of cake. Now, as you can see from these screenshots, I definitely had humble beginnings. And this wasn't even a self-hosted website. It's actually still live on WordPress.com. But here, as you can see, the thoughts of Emerge, which is now my signature theme, was in me even way back then when I really didn't know what I was doing. I was actually branding myself accidentally. And pretty much my brand, organically and, developed that way. It was, like I said, it was accidental. And I was already operating a, 7-figure business. These are some shots of my about page and my inspiration page there, and how you could subscribe to follow me. So, but, back to what I was saying, I was already actually operating a 7-figure business, So that must have meant, in my mind, I'm thinking that running an online business would be a breeze. I thought, since it was online and there was virtually no overhead, that it would be easy, to budget for, and that social media would be my way to get some free traffic to that slick website that I created. Everybody, as you can see here on the screen. But I found out quickly that that was not the case. I think the fact that I had already had a great level of success in my brick and mortar business by making seven figures, it made me a bit naive when it came to learning the online business industry. I now know that if I would have, started there as far as learning, I could have gotten the skills I needed to really monetize my blog. Now, I knew people were making money with their blogs, but I didn't know how people were making money with their blogs. I just knew I had a passion to write and I had a message that I wanted to share. But it takes more than passion for the technical aspect of the business to make a business work. Now, one of my favorite books on entrepreneurship is The E Myth by Michael Gerber. And he talks about people that make the mistake of going into business because they are good technicians, meaning you can cut hair well, or you can bake cakes well, or you can cook really good. You've got the technical aspect down, but that doesn't mean you're good at the actual business of what you do. Now, you're probably saying, well, Rachel, you were already running a seven-figure business. So why wouldn't you automatically be good at the business aspect of running an online blog? Well, let me tell you why. Running an online company is very different from running a brick and mortar business. If you build it or launch a website, they will come is a total lie. They actually won't come without a real good reason, truth be told. It's noisy out here in these internet streets, and you have to have absolute clarity on what your message is and who it's for in order to have a fighting chance to cut through the noise. The best entrepreneurs make a vow early on to be lifelong learners. There was a lot that I needed to learn about operating in the cyberspace world that my brick and mortar business didn't prepare me for. And there'll be more on that later. Another thing that happened was I allowed my ability to monetize my blog. It was hindered by the fact that I grew up in ministry. So the inspiration I was sharing on my blog, as you saw, it felt like ministry to me. And I grew up with the faulty mindset that you just didn't charge people for stuff like that. Even after I began to ease into the online space, this remained a big hurdle that I had to get over as it pertains to charging people for my coaching, books, and courses. I do believe that you need to give some things away for free. And we'll talk more about this as far as how to know what to give away and what to charge for. But what I realized is the more I acted and learned about what it was I was trying to do, the more clarity I got on exactly how to get there. Now, it's not been easy, and I know the majority of my wins were obtained by trial and error. Sometimes it was my inconsistency that delayed my success. I wasn't consistent long enough to see things through. Even though they were hard won, I now know the critical components you need to have to position your brand as one that's meaningful, memorable, and most of all, monetizable. Now, when I started out, I was caught in the idea that a brand was your colors and your logo and pretty pictures, and that is not what a brand is. While you have to have those things that people can visually identify your business with, your brand is simply the mark you want to leave on those who interact with your business, whether that's through your content or social media or your website, a speaking event, a book you wrote, a course you sold them, or even a one-on-one with you. Your branding sets a future expectation for them. And I realize that for some of you, you and your business may be one and the same. And what I mean by that is when you're a coach or a consultant or a speaker, you are your business. So it's more important now than ever that you start building your brand on a solid foundation. You need to start by getting clarity on how you want to position your brand. And what do I mean by positioning? Well, this is when you create a brand offer in such a manner that it occupies a distinctive place and value in your target customer's mind. So take Walmart, Target, and Neiman Marcus, for example. All three of these stores have very distinct brand positions as far as pricing, quality of the products they sell, store layouts, customer service, and so on. So, do you want to be the Walmart, Target, or Neiman Marcus of your industry? Everything about these three places is different. If you're in Target, you know you're not in Neiman Marcus, but you certainly know you're not in Walmart either. Something else that actually all brands have in common is consistency. So whether they're, whatever end of the spectrum you want to be on or not, they consistently deliver in the same manner. So you come to expect a certain level of quality from them. And chances are that's why you choose them. Now, I want to stress getting clarity around each step because that was another big hurdle that kept me spinning my wheels for the first few years after launching RachelOProctor.com. I didn't have clarity on what my end game was. So I just started piecing stuff together. I'd seen other speakers, online do and other online marketers. I started out with my blog, but I soon caught the bright and shiny bug. So instead of staying focused on my blog and creating relevant content for that, I saw someone being successful with a huge podcast and I switched gears to starting a podcast. Mind you, they'd had years of experience under their belt that I didn't have. But when I didn't see quick results with that, I moved over to YouTube and I bounced around to a couple of different platforms before I became clear on these key things, which is my personal journey, how that journey transformed me, and what system I walked away with as a result of my journey. And lastly, how I could use that system to help others who have a similar journey. Now, you need to get clear on your path to purpose. What are you headed towards? Do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to be a blogger? Do you want to create an online course or coach people? Because your content needs to speak to your audience in such a way that it begins to create a clear-cut path to that purpose. When you package your expertise and your advice, ideally advice and expertise that solves a specific problem, and you sell it to others who have that specific problem, you are in what I call the wisdom business. Now, when I got clear on these things for my business brand, I was able to grow my Instagram page to nearly 30,000 targeted followers, launch an app with tens of thousands of downloads, speak on national stages, create engaging content and courses for my audience, and that has been done essentially organically, meaning without Facebook ads and Google ads. So here you can kind of see some things with my morsels and mentorship. Some of the ladies that attended my signature event, 30-day business school. You can see some of the books and ebooks that I've done, as well as you can actually see the Emerge logo here on this screen and the Emerge University logo. And Emerge is a registered trademark because I'm serious about my business brand. And so that's a whole nother webinar, but I definitely would encourage you, if you believe in your business brand, to have it trademarked. And these are some pictures again of the Ask Rachel podcast, Small Business in a Weekend, which is another event I had, and a screenshot of my Instagram page. So what I'm about to share in the remainder of this webinar can significantly help you to grow, scale, and add value to those who engage with you. So in the end, my goal is to help you build a business brand that's meaningful, memorable, and monetizable. The 3 M's, you got to keep those close to you. And if this is something that you want to learn how to do, then you should definitely keep watching and go grab your pen and your paper and get ready to take some notes. Now, finding out your signature message has to be hands down the single most important thing you will need to do in order to set your business brand building efforts on the right course. And something I recommend you do is a technique I call mining for gold. Now, that means you need to look at your past and not to go back and wallow in your past, but you need to ask God why your past was your past. And then you need to look at how your past has now prepared you for your future. Now, I know that sounds very cliche, but seriously, take a deep look at the lessons learned from going through that. Then look at the systems in each lesson you learned. Now, a system is a series of logical steps that build on one another that get you to a consistent outcome or result. Now, this may take some reverse engineering or starting at the end of your transformation and working backwards. Now, once you have the overall system, you need to write out the steps in that system that led you to transformation. As a coach, consultant, speaker, or whatever, you want to be able to speak with authority and conviction. And using your own personal transformation as a system to help others is the perfect vehicle to do this. You want to become what I call a tour guide, meaning someone who has been on that journey time and time again, and you can show others the way around. You're going with them so they don't lose their way. Now, you don't want to be what I call a travel agent. In other words, someone who sends people places that they themselves have never been. So when the people get to the place that you sent them, they still stand a bigger chance of getting lost and not being able to know the way around because there's nobody there to guide them through that journey. So this is why I'm stressing this right out the gate. Find your story and embrace your own path to transformation, and then work on vehicles to share those steps and that story with other people. Those lessons and systems are gold that you will come up with. And when you do this, it's important to reflect. So, did you get out of debt? Did you get out of a toxic relationship? If you did, you can now walk somebody through that same journey to transformation that you had. Now you need to look at who are your people. Who is assigned to your message? It needs to be folks that can relate to what you've been through. I generally say that your ideal audience, and it's not 100% absolute, but in many instances, your ideal target audience or your ideal target customer is a previous version of you. And this is because you know how it feels to walk in their shoes. You can speak their language. These are people on the other side of your message that need what you have to offer. And a lot of times we look at, the numbers on social media, especially. We look at these numbers and we don't want to go live because we don't want to see, there may not be but a handful of people watching, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, or maybe 10 or 11 people are watching. And you're looking at all these vanity metrics. And sometimes that trips you up because if you have a crowd of 10 people watching your Facebook Live or your Instagram Live, if you were to invite 10 people that needed what you had to offer into your home, that would be a big crowd. If you were to invite them out for coffee, 10 people is a really big crowd. So don't get tripped up on a lot of these vanity numbers as it pertains to reaching the people that are assigned to your message. A lot of times in the beginning, you will have a lot of one-on-one interactions with people that are your target customer. So don't get caught up in a bunch of numbers. Now, as it pertains to marketing your business, social media, of course, is a no-brainer. So it makes sense in theory that the more places on social media that your business is exposed to, the more people will find you. However, the reality is somewhat different. Being a one-person company, which as so many of us starting out are, means you can't learn everything, you can't manage it all, and you can't become the master you need to be in order to generate results in excellence. So when you set out into uncharted territory in business, expect a learning curve. And at the end of the day, the most any of us can give is 100%. So what happens when you try to spread your 100% across every area in your business? Well, what you get is 10% effort, 5% focus, 3% brain power, 20% energy across each of those areas. So you end up getting mediocre results because you're only able to put in mediocre effort. Now, listen, no one knows everything, and to even expect to know everything is unrealistic. So when you look at successful entrepreneurs within your industry that have achieved amazing growth and continue growing every day, it's very likely that they started with one platform, one strategy, or one project at a time until they mastered it and moved on to the next thing. And the time will come when you can hire employees to manage certain tasks or platforms for you. And let me assure you, behind every business you see everywhere online is a team of specialists, often managing only one task or a small set of tasks. So again, they're not spreading their team members across everything. So when I first started, I focused on one platform, which was Facebook. And when the landscape of Facebook started to change, I reignited my love for design, and Instagram caught my eye, and the rest is history. So again, my primary Instagram page has now grown to 30,000 targeted followers that find tremendous value in the content that I have to share. So I'm sure I couldn't have achieved those results anywhere near this had I stretched myself across Facebook, Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter, and all the other platforms out there, had I did this when I first started out. So I achieved a level of mastery at one thing that allowed me to generate the results that I wanted. So pick one platform that best highlights your offer and fits the most with your presentation style. So trying to shine on every platform can actually kill your reach at the end of the day. I would rather do one thing well than have profiles on every channel and not be able to even post on them all and keep up with them all. You also need to know your ideal customers so well that you know which platforms they use the most. Is that LinkedIn? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Facebook? So social media platforms are not created equal. So you need to master that platform and create the type of content that algorithm favors on that platform. So an example of this is Instagram versus Twitter. So Instagram is an image-based platform of social content. So the algorithm favors content that is visually appealing. However, your caption does need to also add value to the post as well. But Twitter, on the other hand, is more text-based and conversational. Although you can share pictures and videos, the way to get the most out of Twitter is to engage real time in threads and topics that are trending generally. Twitter is great for sharing links to articles, blog posts, and other offers you may have, while Instagram is actually somewhat limited with link sharing. At least in individual posts, it's very limited. So IG is pretty much limited to sharing a link in your bio, and you're only able to share links in your IG stories once you have a follower count over 10,000. So if you're just starting out, you need to keep this in mind. So in order to maximize your reach, you need to know what social media platforms will allow you to create content that can be viewed in the best possible way on that platform. YouTube may even be a great option for you if you're already comfortable behind the camera. So YouTube is also great if you want to create tutorials and how-to videos or even teach at length on certain topics that you know about. You can even create a video series. So series are like chains with links. And what's great about series is that it helps to lock a prospect in your teaching because they are eager to get the next link in that chain. And it pulls them along with you on a journey. Each video builds on the next. And so people have to feel like they know, like, and trust you before they decide to buy from you. And I dare say that they even have to feel like they know, like, and trust you before they even sign up to give you their email address nowadays. Because kind of giving your email address is almost like giving your phone number out to people. So you have to make it apparent very quickly as to how you can benefit them to follow your page and consume your content from the start. So allow me to caution you though, social media is not the end game. At the end of the day, you don't own those contacts. You're simply renting them. And what that means is that you can put months, even years into building a devoted fan base on social media. But if one day Facebook decides to change your algorithm and limits who can see your posts, you're no better off than when you started. That's why I want to share a tool with you that will help make all the difference in your business goals. And that is an email list. Now, I know that building an engaged email list may seem like a very daunting task, but I want to quickly talk about the fundamentals of an effective email list and why you need more than just your social media accounts to make a profitable impact with your business brand. Now, social media is necessary because that's where the people are. People are checking their phones all day. People are on their social media, scrolling their timelines. But the goal is to speak pique their curiosity on social. Let them know that you have something in common with them and you used to have the same problem they had, because remember what I said, your ideal customers are usually a previous version of you. So you want to let them know that you know how it feels to be them on a deep level. Your content on social media is a way to showcase your level of expertise and empathy towards them for free. It's a platform to share your wisdom because you are in the wisdom business. And chances are they will not give you a dime. And they certainly aren't going to purchase your top tier multi-thousand-dollar course if you are essentially a stranger to them. So you have to be willing to give in order to nurture them and allow space for them to get familiar with you and how you can help them. So don't hold back on your free content. Give them excellence, because when you give them free content that can give them quick wins, you will start to create a loyal, dedicated follower base that will be more apt to purchase your paid content because of the success they got with your free content. Now, let me reel it back in and talk more about the importance of having an email list. And when I say email list, this is when somebody voluntarily gives you their email address, either online or in person, so that you can send them emails about whatever it is that you're offering. They may pick certain types of email content they wish to receive, like specifically requesting email alerts when a new blog posts are published on your website, or opt-in email addresses come when you earn the interest and trust of your contacts because they think you have something valuable to share with them. Your email list will be gold in your business. The money isn't just in the list itself, but it's in the relationship you have with your audience. Every single email address on your list is a real person with hopes, dreams, fears, and they really need help with something. So you have to treat the relationship with them as such. Consumers are more apt to buy from people they know, like, and trust. You'll hear me say that a lot. The more they value you and what you're giving them, the more they will naturally buy from you in the future. Getting their email and building that relationship with your audience and potential customers is critical. Building trust with them takes time. There is no overnight success when it comes to this. I started my email list with mostly grassroots efforts, and I still do for the most part, meaning I grew my list slow and intentionally without doing Facebook ads and so forth. Even though my list building goals have changed drastically since I started my first blog back in 2011, I knew what my goal for building my list was, and I went after those people. Now, when you have identified your ideal audience, you are now looking at a target. And the next thing you want to do is set a goal on how many people you want to get on your list. Now, this is where reality has to come in. If you think you're going to have a list of 10,000 people in the next 2 months, you're only going to frustrate yourself and probably give up because that goal is too big, in my opinion. Not saying that it couldn't happen, but depending on what strategies you choose to use to get leads for your list, as well as taking into consideration the reach your platform currently has, it may be good to start with the goal of getting your first 100 subscribers in the first month and so on. If you're building your list with the solid intent to sell a product or service, a quick way that I develop my goals is to look at the number of seats I want to sell to my course and multiply that number by 20. This will give you a rough number of the ideal customers you need to actually get on your list and get to opt in to hit your target that you will actually, be able to sell. So you may be looking a bit puzzled right now. So let me explain it a little bit further. Now, even if you get your ideal customers to opt in, you're not going to get 100% conversion. And conversion rates vary depending on industry, what you're selling, your reach and influence, and the amount of rapport that you built with your potential customers that you're trying to sell to. Now, the most basic conversion rate I've seen is about 5%. So to take this example a bit further, if I want to sell at least 20 seats to my coaching program, I multiply that number by 20, which means I will need to get 400 targeted people on my list to reach that conversion rate. Now, that's never guaranteed that you'll hit those targets, but if you are getting the right people on your list and you are delivering solid quality content to them, you, my friend, stand a higher chance of reaching your conversion goal. Now, since your business as a coach or consultant may be predominantly service-based and you may possibly be the only one delivering said service, I want you to keep this in mind. If you have a limited number of clients you can take at one time, then you don't need to build a huge list right off the bat. So maybe that can take some of the pressure off. You need to keep in mind that one of your goals should be to become a resource for your customers. They signed up for your list for a reason. They have a problem that your business can solve. And the more information you share with them, the more you start to build a relationship with your customers. And the potential customers that are on your list will begin to trust you more and will be more apt to buy from you in the future because they feel like they know you and you've shown yourself to be an expert on your topic. Building a list that will grow your business will require you to go where your ideal customers are. Now, this will take work on your part, so it's critical that you pinpoint the customer you're going after. Ask yourself these questions to start brainstorming places where your ideal customer would hang out. So ask yourself, who is already reaching them and serving them, and how can I get involved in that? What social media pages do they follow? What problems are they Googling trying to find solutions to? What stores are they shopping at? So keep this in mind. While you are a business owner and you may be familiar with blogging and list building as such, most of your ideal customers out there won't be. So don't assume that they will know how to join your list. You have to make this process as easy as possible for them and anticipate and answer as many questions you feel they have in advance. And this will hopefully eliminate much of the confusion around your opt-in offer. You have to direct them and tell them exactly what to do to get on your list. Also, once they've opted in, you must tell them exactly what to expect next to take away the guesswork. I've even created pictures that show them step by step what they should see in their inbox and so forth. You have to also give them a call to action. Now, you need to take every opportunity you have to let people know about the opportunity to join your list. That could mean placing a link to sign up in your email signature line on your business card at events and so forth. You are starting a business for a specific purpose, so you want to let people know about your opportunity to add value to their lives through your business. Some of the most popular email marketing services out there are Aweber and MailChimp. I've used Aweber as well as MailChimp in the past. Both of these services have what is called a double opt-in process where anyone who subscribes to your list must confirm this by approving it through an email that is sent to them after they sign up. So this extra step helps to ensure that they actually did sign up for the list, and it in turn helps with a higher rate of your email being delivered to their inboxes versus their spam folder. Now I use an email marketing system called ConvertKit, which is much more robust in its functionality, in my opinion. It's almost a one-stop shop when it comes to integrating email and sales to those who are on your list. Now, here are some things you can essentially do for free in order to start building your list. The first thing is ask and you shall receive. Include clear and specific calls to action in your newsletter and your blog posts and just anywhere on your website to encourage people to share your content if they found it valuable. Also, you need to make it easy for people to share your content. Use social sharing plugins in your website to make it easy for your content to spread. Also, something that's still kind of controversial to a degree, if you want to call it controversial, is use a pop-up opt-in box on your website. That means like as soon as they land on your website, a box pops up with the option for them to opt in. And also, if you're speaking at public events, consider placing a tablet device out at your table and asking people to sign up for your list on the spot. So MailChimp has an app that you can download to your device so they can electronically sign up to your list, as well as some of the other email service providers have similar apps for signups as well. You could also pull up your sign up landing page on the tablet and have them sign up directly from there also. Or you could also host live or virtual speaking events and, of course, remind the attendees to sign up. I always say, don't be afraid to ask. And then I always also say, the answer is always no if you never ask. Lastly, when you finally start sending out information to your email list, don't take it personal when somebody opts out. But if this is a list that you're building the right way, again, don't take it personal. Your content won't always be for everybody, and it could be that they just wanted to receive less email or they changed the direction of their goals or something. Almost every time we send out an email, we have somebody opt out, and it just comes with the territory. So just keep building your list and going after your ideal customers, and you will be fine. Now, here's what I love. Your opt-in for your email list is a place or places on your website where your visitor submits their contact information and joins your list. And you may be now wondering, as we get into this webinar more, why are you stressing this whole email list thing? That's because your email list, if you build it correctly, can actually serve as an ATM of sorts for your business if you give them value and nurture them right. And it pays to do it right from the start. Now, one of the best ways to invite people to sign up for your list is to offer them something they would find valuable for free. Giving away something for free isn't mandatory, but I will say this from my personal experience that you will have a higher rate of signups if you do. Now, unless you already have a huge brand or you're a household name, people don't want to just sign up to get updates from you. And I'm doing the finger quotes there. They don't want updates. People already get enough emails. So you want to make it a point to provide something of value to the people that you want to serve. And a good opt-in instantly establishes trust and reciprocity with potential customers right off the bat. It can show that you care about your customer and understand what they need. And what's more is it can show them that you have the solution to their issue. And if your opt-in can deliver a result for your potential customer before you ever ask them to buy something from you, that's even better because when they will be more apt to, I guess, to say buy from you in the future if they found your free content to be useful. They get a no risk sample of you and your business without ever having to buy, and it showcases how great you are. And when you have it set up through an email service provider, it's an automated way for you to build your list and develop real relationships with customers or potential customers 24/7. Now, the first step to developing a great opt-in offer goes back to knowing the prospects you want to attract and having a handle on the product or service you're offering. So you will need to consider your ideal customer here, and they actually need to have the problem that your product or service solves. Next, you need to pinpoint your solution, which of course is your product or service. And then you need to look at what you can give for free that will attract those ideal customers to want to know more about your business. All three of those things need to line up. Your main goal with an opt-in is not about the money right away. It should be to serve the prospect in some way. This is really about empathy, compassion, kindness, generosity, and service. You will have to think outside of the box for this, but it doesn't have to be hard. You've got to remember online success in the modern world is all about what you can give versus what you can get. This is why you must know your ideal customer's deepest desires and their most pressing issues. Because when you really understand your ideal customer, you understand what she's looking for the most and what she desires and what she's trying to achieve, experience, or create. And with that level of compassion, you can offer something truly valuable that they will love and actually use. You've got to ask yourself, what outcome does your ideal customer want the most? What can you offer them that will help your ideal customer get closer to his desired outcome for free even before he buys from you? Then think in terms of being generous. It's really an opportunity to serve your market that whether they buy from you or not. And what is your ideal customer struggling with or wishing for you, that you could help them with for free? Now, here are some pictures of my two of my opt-ins. I have several depending on what I've got going on, but one is for my Accelerate Circle, which is my general email list. And as a part of signing up for that, as you can see, they get my free business strategies as well as my quarterly business planning guide that they can download just for opting in. Also, another one of my opt-ins is the 5-day side business startup challenge. It is an actual 5-day mini course that I take them through to learn how to start making passive income. And you can kind of read a little bit about it there. It's actually still up on my website at the time of this webinar. But since you're trying to establish yourself as a trusted voice in your niche, you've got to ask yourself, how can you give specific advice that will give them or help them solve a problem and get closer to their goals now? You could do that in the form of a free video or an audio, a webinar, a tutorial, a guide, or a training series like this one. Don't stress about it being perfect. You can test out different things as you go along. You may, also want to create a free guide in PDF form with free tips or strategies to solve an issue for your ideal customer. And it could be step by step, or, it could be an audio training, or it could be a video training. You can offer them free ebooks or chapter excerpts from an ebook or a physical book that you wrote. You could do a digital learning program, downloadable checklists, worksheets, a cheat sheet, whatever your brain can come up with. The possibilities are literally endless. Now, you need to create a proper autoresponder email complete with a welcome message and a thank you page explaining what they got, when to expect more communication from you, and so on. Do not skip this. So you need to create a proper follow-up sequence to nurture them, so to speak, those people that have signed up. So once someone shares their name and email, you've got to stay in constant communication with them. Don't leave them wondering how to apply what they've learned from you. Be really clear and walk people through the things that they need to do step by step. Be kind and helpful to your potential customer. And don't forget to actually include a specific offer to buy your product or service eventually. Now, you can make offers during the follow-up. And again, this will vary on your business, your vibe, and also how quickly you want to close the sale. But it's not a bad thing to eventually offer something for people to buy. Now, here is why content is still king when it comes to building your brand and attracting a loyal following. Now, ironically, one of the most difficult things to do when you're a content creator who's in the wisdom business is to come up with fresh content to share. And one of the biggest assumptions I see new entrepreneurs make is that they are not intentional when it comes to their content, and the content they share is eventually piecemeal together and it doesn't flow or take their ideal audience on a journey of sorts. Now, even after 8 years of being a content creator myself, I still struggle to actually stay consistent sometimes with this unless I use certain systems to keep me on track. I've learned how to batch my content. So what that means is I'll create a month's worth of content in a day or over the course of a couple of days. So maybe you're lost as to what you need to create content, your first batch of content rather about. Well, one of the quickest ways to ruin your business is to make assumptions about what your audience needs from you in terms of content. There's only one real way to create content that engages your ideal customer in a way that adds value to them and helps you create a brand that's meaningful, memorable, and monetizable. You guys want to know what that is? Well, it's very simple. You ask them. That's right. You ask them what they want to know about. Now, the key is to make sure that it's within your area of expertise and within your zone of genius. You need to actually be able to give sound advice about the things you want to build your business brand on, because at the end of the day, you have to be able to get them results on whatever it is. So if you struggle to come up with content for your platform, here are some of my writing hacks that you can use to come up with great content ideas for blog posts and even for going live on social media. First thing, think about all the questions that your ideal audience is already asking you about. What do you want to share? What personal stories do you have? What key lessons did you learn as a result of what you went through in those stories? What do people constantly ask you about as it pertains to what you can teach others? How might this be pointing you towards your area of expertise? What is something you wish more people knew about? And what gets on your nerves about the problem your ideal customers consistently struggle with? How can you help them solve the issue? What's your advice on it? Now, write down what comes up for you here in terms of questions they want to be answered. Now, in order to generate answers to these questions, sit down, pull out a blank Google Doc or a Word doc, whichever one's your preference, and pretend that your best friend has just asked you one of those questions. Then just start giving your friend your honest advice. I don't believe in the notion of writer's block because you never get talker's block, especially around the topics and things that we know a lot about and the things that we are passionate about. So you need to approach it like that. Answer the question in your natural vernacular, so to speak. This helps you to maintain your authentic voice as you begin to position yourself as an expert on these topics. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is the organization struggle. Yes, the struggle is real. You really have to get you some good systems in place from the get-go, especially if you are a one woman or man, one man show, right? So this is going to save you time and a headache. Now, one day I looked up and I had years and years worth of content that I created. And if I hadn't organized my content from the start, it would have been virtually impossible to sort through it and refer back to it for future projects. And why would I want to go back through this content? Well, I always recommend repurposing your content. You don't always have to create new content from scratch. If your content is still relevant and something your audience will find value in, then put some retouches on it or put it in a different format and voila. What I mean by that is you may have had a long form blog post and you can turn it into a video or a tweet thread. You can get as creative as you want from this. Now, here's the long and short of organizing your wisdom business. You need to get you an ideas system first. Now, here you can see in the early days, I used Evernote. Now I simply use my notes app on my phone. So your ideas system is going to be the place where you dump all of your, you guessed it, your ideas. So whenever you come up with something, you jot those down, you put them and file them under that, whether that's blog post ideas, social media content ideas, post ideas, video ideas, course ideas, freebie ideas. You can create folders for pretty much anything. And so whenever you get an idea, whenever, that inspiration strikes, you write those ideas in there so that you do not forget them. You also need to get you a calendar system. And so, that's Google is a great scheduling system. So I use Google Calendar, which is pretty simple. Even if you're not super techie, it's pretty simple to use and to get the hang of. I believe that if it's not scheduled, it's not real. And so again, Google Calendar is my calendar of choice, but you can even opt to use a paper planner if that works for you. I've noticed that a lot of times when I'm working with my paper planner and mapping things out, I'm less apt to get distracted because I don't have all the pings and dings going on that I have on my phone. So a paper planner might work well for you. Also, you need something that's easy to use as far as scheduling. So you may choose to offer your prospects a discovery call with you, or you may need it to book your official coaching calls. I use Calendly, but there are a ton of, really great choices out there. You also need a project management system. So for this is for the projects that you are currently working on. So anything that you're working on, whether that's by yourself or with a team, it's easy to map them out and plan them out and keep up with what's been done and what still needs to be done using a project management system. So the one that I like is Trello. There are a few others out there. Some others that come to mind are Asana. So just Google project management systems, and you need to definitely get you a project management system in place from the beginning. Also, you need a file system. This is where your finished projects go. So I use Dropbox, and also I use Amazon S3 as a way to store my projects. Also, it stores a lot of my things like videos and stuff like that. So if I need to create links to certain documents that may be large, maybe too large to send in their original format, I can create a link to them using Amazon S3 and make it public. And that's a really great way to store and host your content there as well. And so once you expand your team, you need to get a communication system for you and your team. One that I have used before is Slack. Now, in my opinion, there's a huge learning curve with Slack. And another group communication system that I've used is GroupMe and Telegram. However, they're more mobile based. They're not really a web based service where you can use it on your laptop or, across laptop, stuff like that. So if you work with international team members or virtual assistants like I have, you can also use Skype to communicate as a team. You also need to start developing your checklists and your process sheets. Now, this is easy to do, but you have to be intentional and you have to stay on top of it because it can be tedious work, but it's not difficult work. It's just tedious at times. And so a good book that I recommend to you to walk you through how to create these systems and checklists. There are lots out there, but one of the ones that I recommend to you is System Busters by Philip Paul Bayer. And Bayer is spelled Beyer. Philip Paul Bayer. Now, I'm sure you picked up that I could probably teach like this for a whole nother hour, and there was still so much that I wanted to give you, but time will not allow. I've come to cherish the lessons that I've learned in business, so I'm always eager to share them with others that are aspiring to get into business, especially in this online space, to teach and serve others with your message. Now, listen, it took me 8 years to really dig out all these nuggets and these key components. And again, it's an honor for me to share these nuggets with you to help you to get to where you want to be. Now, I know how it feels to have an idea, but you can't wrap your mind around how to get started. People won't share their information. Everybody's stingy with their information. You're getting frustrated because you're piecing together information using all the freebies you've downloaded and YouTube videos you watched, and you're walking away more confused than when you started. Now, if you believe that you could use more of this kind of teaching to help you get clarity and momentum in the area of building your business brand, allow me to give you the information I promised on my group coaching program, which is the Emerge Online Mastermind. Now, these modules, they're designed to challenge you in your mindset, your daily habits, your imagination. They are designed to get your creative juices flowing. And if you're beyond ready to get a solid plan with me, walking alongside you, helping you implement it, then this mastermind is for you. Now, the content is divided up into easily digestible modules, and there's a combination of video, audio trainings along with PDFs that can be downloaded. I'll also be hosting live Q&As. Now, that's the kicker. Live Q&As, which I consider to be my office hours. I'll be hosting those. So you can ask your specific questions and gain additional clarity on the concepts that I teach. Now, we're going to be teaching about mindset. That is a biggie. Everything rises and falls on your mindset, whether that's your mindset around making money or selling, or just your mindset on what you could have and who you can become through building a business. So we will spend some time there, especially in the beginning and in some of the live sessions. We will definitely spend some time there. But we'll also talk about how to discover your target market and your profitable niche. This talks about why taking a go big or go home mentality as it pertains to your market is a terrible idea and will cost you more in the long run than it will ever make you. I will teach you how to go deep into the minds of your prospect and discover exactly what they want. Also, I'll be teaching you how to craft the message that will actually transform your audience. I'll show you how to stand out in a crowded, noisy marketplace. I'll give you the steps you need to take to join the conversation already going on in the mind of your prospect and craft a compelling offer for your target market so that they will view you as the expert authority. I'll tell you how to discover the platforms that work best to reach your audience. We will dive deep into uncover the role social media really plays in your business success and how to get the best ROI on your advertising. Also, I'll share proven strategies to help you effectively use email as a part of your sales strategy. We'll also talk about creating your daily lead generation system. I'll cover the best time to actually sell to your prospects to increase your chances of them buying your offer. You'll also discover the best ways to set up your social media pages, your website to create constant flows of leads and prospects. And we'll also talk about how to close your sale without being pushy and annoying. We'll also talk about captivating content and how to create that in order to nurture your audience. I'll talk about how to generate 30 days worth of content that your audience will be excited to share and engage with. I'll also teach you how to develop your sales conversion strategy. This talks about how to position your brand to command top dollar for your products and services. Also, we'll talk about how to instantly generate trust and credibility when selling. I'll teach you how to discover and package and deliver your signature offering. This is a biggie. And I'll teach you why building a community of raving fans is crucial and how to do it. I'll walk you through how to create your signature offering. And we'll also uncover ways to scale and refine your business brand. I'll share a little known way to make more money from your existing customers. And also, we'll talk about how to avoid stagnation in your business and revitalize your current brand for growth. And so you're probably thinking, all of this sounds incredible. It sounds amazing. But Rachel, what is all of this going to cost me? So if you were to actually break down everything that you're getting in the Emerge Online Mastermind group coaching program, if you were to break that down using my individual prices for coaching, here's a little bit of what you have to actually pay total. So if you're looking at 6 months of access to a program where you have access to me to actually get coached on your business, that's $495 per month. Now, let me remind you, this is my lowest tier program, is $495 per month. So that totals you $2,970. If you were to do live implementation sessions with me times 6, meaning over the span of this 6 months, that's $297 per call, meaning you pay a total of $1,782. Also, the strategy worksheets and resources, if you were to buy those outright from me, that'd be $97. The laser coaching hot seats, where I tone in on your business, your website, your social media, times 6 of those, that's $69 per session. So that totals $414. If you were to actually purchase the master classes individually, separately, the master classes from experts, industry experts, that's $297 per class, totaling you $1,782. The community and the accountability that you're getting, whether that's through my office hours, whether that's through some of our online communication, some of our online interaction with others, that is priceless. And we haven't even talked about the bonuses that you're getting here. And so some of the bonuses that I include is the virtual vision purpose planning party replay, which is my session where I show you how to map out your vision for the year, how to break those things down in quarterly goals so that you're absolutely pursuing the most important goals that are going to move you forward into your destiny. That's $27. My done for you content planning calendar, that's $57. Also, if you pay in full today, you also get a ticket to my Emerge Online Virtual Business Summit, which is $197. This is my online business conference where I bring in industry experts on just about every business topic that you can think of. And I bring them all in to teach you, to train you, to get you ready for the next level in business. And so if you pay in full, you actually get a ticket to the online virtual summit, which happens in June of every year. And that's $197 value. So again, look at this. The individual prices for all of these things, the 6 months of access to the program, the live implementation sessions, the strategy worksheets and resources, the laser coaching, master classes, the virtual summit ticket if you pay in full, the community and the accountability plus those bonuses would total you, if you were to pay for everything individually, $7,523. Now, because I love you and I want to see you succeed, I want to remove every excuse that you have that you've been telling yourself and trying to use as an excuse of why you haven't moved forward. I want to remove that, especially the financial piece. And so again, you get all of these items here. 6 months of access to the program, the live implementation sessions, strategy worksheets, laser coaching, master classes, the virtual summit tickets, community and accountability, and bonuses. You're getting all of that for a one-time investment of $397. Now, if you sign up today, you can even take advantage of our payment plan. So if you are not able to do the whole $397 at one time, you can actually take advantage of our payment plan, but that is only for today. And so that's $79 per month, and you can start out today with $79, and that is a 6-month commitment when you pay through using our payment plan. But when you pay in full, you do get 1 month free. So keep that in mind as you're deciding what you're going to do today. If you're going to use our payment plan, or if you're going to pay in full and get some of those additional bonuses on top of what you already get just for signing up. So if you pay in full today, you get 1 month free. Now, the price goes up after this to $497, as well as the payment plan goes away. And the virtual vision purpose planning party replay, that goes away as well. And the done for you content planner, it goes away after today. And so remember, just as a reminder, I think repetition is the key, right? You get all of these things here for a one-time investment of $397. And so you should have a link there that's going to allow you to actually go ahead and click through to be able to sign up for whichever payment plan works best for you. You can actually start today with as little as $79 and take advantage of our payment plan, and you'll have instant access to our first set of modules in there, along with our video resource library and a few of our master classes and some of our other resources. You will have instant access to those things as soon as you sign up today. And so it all starts with taking action. I don't think you would have gotten to this part of this webinar if you didn't have something that was pulling and tugging on you that told you that there was more on the other side of fear, that there was more on the other side of whatever is causing you to hesitate. You can either do it slow, using trial and error and Googling things and trying to download freebies and piecing together things that you find on YouTube. You can use bits and pieces of what I share with you today and take it slow, or you can do it quickly using my 8-module Emerge Online Mastermind and some of those amazing bonuses where I walk alongside you and show you the shortcuts. So take advantage of those prices today. I cannot guarantee that those prices will remain and the payment plans will remain after today. So go ahead, take action. You can start with as little as $79 to get started and to get instant access to the first set of modules and those bonuses and our vast video resource library. So let's take action. I'll see you on the inside.